Hello and welcome to day 2 of the 12 days of whiskey, where we are going through top 12 selling whiskies here in the UK. I'm joined by Luke John.
Hola.
And today we are looking at Johnnie Walker Red Label. Now, Johnnie Walker, obviously very famous. They are, well, the home base is or was Kilmarnock. They used to do bottling there, although that closed a few years ago. The whiskey for it comes from multiple different locations. But I think you had a fact to share about actually where most of it's coming from.
Yeah, so obviously Johnnie Walker, they use 4, sometimes 5 different distilleries in their makeup. And the main distillery, where the majority of Johnnie Walker comes from, is Clynelish Distillery. Easier to say if you're Scottish, not if you've got a Northern Yorkshire accent. But yeah, 80% of, I believe it's 80% of everything they produce goes straight to Johnnie Walker.
That's interesting. I'd like to see what the other 20% is, if they've got like some of those hidden distilleries, if they've got single versions of their own. That'd be interesting. So Johnnie Walker itself, established in 1820, as it says on the bottle down here, but when it was first established, it was actually as a grocery store. I think they were more selling ingredients elements for whiskey, because whiskey wasn't really legal in the US, in Scotland for tax purposes and that. But they began distilling in 1865, and the red label here was first made in 1906. Well, I don't think it was called Red Label until about 1910. The company that Johnnie Walker was under in 1906 was bought out actually and became part of the Guinness brand. And then, as we all know, in 1997, Diageo merged with Guinness, or it wasn't Diageo, but Guinness merged to form Diageo. And that's where Johnnie Walker sits today. Now, a bottle of Johnnie Walker is going to set you back for the red £15 to £21. It really depends. It's seasonal, goes up and down. And also, I mean, you could get bigger litre bottles, which brings the price per litre or price per milliliter down at that stage. When we're looking at the whole range, red is the bottom of the range, I would say. And then you've got green, black, double black, gold, and then top of the range, I would say, that they sell is blue.
And you did forget the 18 and the platinum. And if anybody that can't afford a blue label, definitely go for the 18. Top tip.
Does platinum sit above blue then? Or is it they're quite similar?
It sits below blue. So blue is their premium kind of bottle. Even though platinum came out as premium. But the blue kind of takes old and rare casks that they blend together. So they might blend casks from distilleries that are now car parks that are closed down, which is kind of their old and rare range that Johnnie Walker has.
And just so everyone knows, blue is not on this list. Blue is not on this list.
Unfortunately. Yes.
That's a shame. You would love that. I know that. You'd be like, brilliant, I'm getting a blue. Yes, so this, I think, is one of the best-selling whiskies in the world, especially when it comes to Scotch whiskies. I think probably helped in part, but you can find it at literally every duty-free in the world where they're selling this. Again, much like yesterday with Jim Beam, I don't think I've had this neat before. I've had it mixed, and I don't think I've had it neat, which is really weird. But I think most places in the UK, when they've got like, if you go to a pub and they've got like a house whiskey, this tends to be along the lines of a house whiskey. So a lot of people will have this with Coke and not realise. So yep. I'm interested to see what it's like on its own. I've had the other ones, neat. It'll be interesting to see on this. Let's crack it open and get into it. It comes in a plastic bottle, this one, doesn't it?
It does, which is kind of disappointing.
Yeah.
Well, disappointing, but, you know, a lot of these are kind of like travel varieties.
Yeah.
So you can just pop them in your suitcase and not worry about them being smashed.
Again, getting some little whiskey legs on this one, but not really much. Colour, well, for me, I don't think it's coming up on camera, but that looks lighter than the Jim Beam to me yesterday. That is definitely, it's golden again still, but it looks a paler colour for sure.
Yep, very light. Kind of a Mahuka honey. So it's a lot lighter. More virgin into amber, like an amber gold. But it looks alright. I don't believe there's any colouring gone into it. So
yeah, natural. But yeah, I think most of these will find that there's no colouring added, but I hope. But yeah, that's natural colour. On the nose, I'm getting. I wasn't expecting that, but I'm getting. It feels like a bit of smoke, honey and smoke.
yeah. So I'm picking up the honey. I'm picking up the slight smokiness, which, to be honest, Johnnie Walker is kind of a smokier dram, to be honest.
Yeah, I just wasn't expecting on the nose at that stage.
I'm also getting a slight bit of ginger. And if you inhale too much, you kind of get a little bit of acetone, a little bit of nail
Oh, the
polish
off notes of acetone. Yeah. All right. I'm thirsty. I know what I'm after. Happy Boxing Day, everyone.
Cheers, folks. So again, with Jim Beam yesterday, it has got a pepperiness to it.
I was about to say the same. I didn't want to sound like I'm repetitive, but yeah, I am getting pepper, but nowhere near the Jim Beam level. That there's pepper on that. It's very smooth, very, very smooth. Bit of wood, maybe oak at that level, and there is a sweetness. So, along the lines of not vanilla.
There's kind of, and I don't want to sound like yesterday, but there's a citrus with a very slight honey just running through it.
Yeah, so that I'm getting the honey sweetness, and there is a citrus to it. A very, very it's not overpowering. They're all very mellow individual amounts, aren't they? It's not like there's one flavor overriding. You get the pepper, yes, you get a bit of citrus, you get honey, you get a wood, but they all come perfectly together, and that just shows you, like, for a blended, how well it's been done. And the consistency in which they're able to produce this.
Yeah, I mean, it's finely balanced. And as you say, it's the number one seller worldwide for a reason. Because I could imagine myself in a bar mixing that with something, or even just drinking it neat at the end of the night. It is smooth.
Yeah. Neat again. Yeah, as you said, as a neat one, that is good.
But it doesn't last as long as the Jim Beam. It's got a shorter finish to it.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's short in the term of that, but it's definitely shorter than Jim Beam. Yeah, so it's I know there's not even a terminology for a medium finish, but it's either long or short. But it's long, but it's not as long as Jim Beam. Because it's so soft and all those flavors are very, I'm not going to say mellow, but they are there, but they're none overpowering. The finish it's not dry for me. It's well, there's an element of dryness, but it's nowhere near Jim Beam again. There's a long finish, but it's shorter than Jim Beam, and there's a bit of, it leaves that smoke at the end in your mouth, a bit of smoke.
Yeah, kind of like the embers of an end of bonfire, that type of smoke. It's not offensive, but I would see it being quite bland, or should I put perfect for a beginner getting into whiskey.
Yeah, entry level, that is really good. And I actually say, like, it not offensive. Entry level, it is really good, especially if you're looking into Scotch whiskey. That is good. But it's also, as you say, just a casual, easy one. You could see yourself at the end of the night going, I just want something that's not overbearing, overpowering, something that is easy going, and that hits the mark, doesn't it? It's just smooth with a range of flavors in there that none of them are overpowering any of the rest. I really like that. And again, price point wise, if you're able to get it at the lower range when you see like 14, 15 pounds in the shops, it's you can't go wrong with that. I mean, whiskey prices going up across the board, don't we know that? But this, it's a really good one to have around. It just goes well.
Yeah, I mean, I can see it better as a mixer because it is that balanced. Now, whether I'd have a whiskey of Coke or whiskey lemonade, or even a bit of ginger, a little bit of ginger ale maybe with it, just because there is a ginger on the nose. So, yeah, it's not too bad. Kind of is what it is. It's Johnnie Walker Red.
Yeah.
So,
I totally agree. For me, yeah, I agree entirely. And there's nothing offensive about it, nothing stand out about it. It is what it says on the label, in a sense. It does what it needs to do. Perfect. Well, thanks everyone. We'll see you on day 3. Take care. Bye.